As thunderstorms roll in, I often find myself staring at the clouds or chasing them. While most times I find myself staring at a gray mess, other times, shelf clouds are one of the most unique natural phenomena a storm can produce. These outflow-dominated beasts are common with quasi-linear convective systems, which are also just simply known as QLCS. Despite this, they can be just as common on regular supercells, especially when the supercell has begun to gust out. In this video, I will be counting down my top 5 shelf clouds that I've ever captured as of 2026. Coming in at number 5 is April 17th, 2024. I initially planned on chasing this day as there was a 5% risk for tornadoes in place. But by the time I got home from school, I realized there wouldn't be any time to do so. So I decided to wait out the huge line. This line of storms was fairly large, and it stretched all the way down into Ohio and Indiana, where my friend Mikey Plemons was chasing and getting a huge embedded mesocyclone. As this line progressed over my house, it would hit with about 55 mile-per-hour winds. Certainly not the worst I've experienced, but it was enough to land this storm at 5th place. This next storm happens only a few months later. June 5th, 2024 provided some of the most incredible storm structure I have ever seen on a high-based QLCS. While this is not technically a true shelf cloud, I'm going to be counting it because of how unique these features were. What you're actually looking at is referred to as a whale's mouth, and it's a very common sight amongst outflow-dominant storms. Since outflow-dominant storms usually arbor very strong winds, those winds can create extreme turbulence in the clouds aloft. While this may look tornadic, it usually poses no risk other than gusty to strong winds. It's coming in at us really fast. This is so pretty. I don't think I've ever seen a whale's mouth like that. My mom and I would keep up with this line of storms throughout my county and into the Thumb area, where we would continue to document beautiful structure and a gustnado along the way. Gustnado!
You can smell the dirt.
Eventually, the storm gusted out too much and started to collapse on itself, so we decided to head back home. This next entry is a little confusing because it's actually 3 separate storms from 2 separate days, but I didn't want half the list to be taken up by these storms that happened just 2 days apart, so I'm going to put them all on here as just the same one. The first storm on entry 3 is this beast of a mesoscale convective system in the northeastern side of Nebraska near Pilger, which is the same Pilger that had the twin EF4 tornadoes.
Is that a gustnado? There might be a gustnado up there.
My dad and I would chase this throughout county roads for about 2 hours,
Crazy show.
crossing through many small towns.
View of some of these layers here. You can really see how they're stacked like that. Just kind of waiting to get home right now. We just kind of turned around because we accidentally got caught. This is insane. We are blasted.
Before it finally fizzled out.
Storm rolling in. We're probably gonna bail.
We decided to go west to get in position for the next round of storms. And we were positioned somewhere near Platte Center, Nebraska at the time of this footage, but unfortunately my GPS decided it wanted to bug out, so I don't have data from like a 2-hour period, so apologies for that, but it's somewhere within that region. We watched as the storm rolled over the hills and developed a brief shelf cloud. However, as the now supercell developed, we drove south into Monroe, Nebraska, and by the time we shot west out of town, this beast was waiting for us.
We made it out of the gas station, we refueled. We are now heading west through the town.
I think Monroe.
Monroe? Yeah, Monroe. Here, so I'm gonna get out. Because this might be about to do something. I can't really tell. That is a huge mower. Do you see any motion on it? It looked, yeah.
But we had to move quickly, as the storm had up to 2 to 3 inch hail and it was coming down right on us. Thankfully, we got south and west out of its path just in time.
West.
This next storm takes us to eastern/central Colorado the very next day. After trying some luck with some supercells earlier in the day in far eastern Colorado, we drove west, closer to the mountains, to get in position for what we thought would be a weak line approaching from the west. But holy cow, little did we know. This huge behemoth of a storm rolled its way across the hills of eastern Colorado, kicking up small tumbleweeds along its path. We got to sit here watching this beast for roughly 35 minutes, eating our dinner of canned SpaghettiOs. Before it finally caught up with us, thus concluding Entry 3. Number 2 takes us all the way back to June of 2024 in Michigan. June 21st, 2024 started out like most summer days for me. Thunderstorms were expected later in the afternoon, however, I was not fully anticipating a chase. However, by late morning/early afternoon, a round of storms quickly developed in my area. Unfortunately for my sister, she was home, so she got to take me chasing. Also unfortunately, this line did not provide much, other than giving me a craving for more that would be satisfied later. Once my dad got home from work, we set off to chase, as new supercells were developing over the same area I was just chasing at. My hopes definitely were not as high going into the storm. However, as we left McDonald's, we sent off into the forested terrain of the Shiawassee River Basin.
Here we go.
We initially could not find any breaks in the trees, but as we pulled down a dirt road, it became very apparent that this storm had some insane structure.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's get out somewhere up here. Just to kind of, yeah, let me raise our brightness. This is insane. Whoa. Okay,
There might be a break in the corner right here.
Unfortunately, this would be about the best view that we got of this storm.
right up there.
As when we continued east, we would lose visual of the storm, and it would become wrapped in rain and slowly fizzle out. However, the storm was still very beautiful, and we decided to keep up with it for another 30 minutes before deciding to head home. Before we get to number 1, I want to briefly go over a few storms that almost made the list. Honorable mention number 1 is August 12th, 2025. This tornado-warned storm put down a brief week unconfirmed tornado on the border of Midland and Bay County that I went out to survey after the storm passed.
But you'd have to go under that power line, so we're gonna have to turn around either way.
Honorable mention number 2 goes to September 18th, 2025. I was actually in the middle of recording a song when this thing hit. Unfortunately, I did not have my camera on me at this time, so I could not get proper footage of the storm. However, this thing was a beast. A home weather station nearby me, I believe, recorded a wind gust up to 70 miles per hour, which, if confirmed, I believe would be one of the strongest wind gusts within my county from 2025. And the last honorable mention would be August 27th, 2024. I don't know if I really need to say more. This thing was just a grungy beast of a storm. Unfortunately, my mom and I got caught behind the storm way too early before we could even really get a chance to chase this thing, so that's really what's only holding this thing back. I think if we chased this throughout the thumb and got ahead of it, this
Back on a roll.
could definitely be higher on the list.
Blasting east.
Now, if you have been a follower of the channel for a while now, you will likely already know what number 1 is. May 20th, 2024 has so far been my most incredible shelf cloud that I have ever witnessed. This behemoth also got very close to producing a tornado looking west from our location, as we observed a wall cloud for approximately 25 minutes. We sat at this spot for 30 whole minutes, watching as it got closer and closer until we eventually had to move. And while we were moving, we got an incredible view of the whale's mouth of the storm.
That's so cool.
Which, while being lit up by the lightning, was such an incredible experience.
Oh.
All in all, every shelf cloud is unique and beautiful in its own way, and I am looking forward to seeing more in the future. If you like content like this, consider subscribing. I'm getting dangerously close to 1,000 subscribers now. For now though, I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching my channel. I need to make some sort of song outro thing. That would be awful. All right, anyway, bye.